Merci beaucoup, Monsieur le Président. Messieurs, c'est un grand honneur pour moi de vous parler ici à Ottawa et vous en Australie et en Nouvelle-Zélande, ce qui démontre la force du Commonwealth.
Ouais.
First of all, my question will go to Mr. Robert Peden from New Zealand. Sir, it's a real pleasure for me to talk to you from the first case. In the second round, I will have the privilege to speak to Mr. Rogers. But Mr. Peden, it's a real long journey your country have passed through to achieve what you have done in the last 2 decades. We shall begin with the Royal Commission, 1985-1986. Well, I said 2 decades. We talk about 3 decades. I had the right to vote at that time. But I would like to know, why did you take 18 months to achieve your work as a Royal Commission? Why 18 months?
The terms of reference of the Royal Commission were broad. It included consideration of the electoral system, but many other matters of democracy, and the report was broad-ranging. And one of the things which the report includes, they began with identifying 10 criteria by which they would judge electoral systems, and in the material that we have provided to the committee, we've included the report that the Electoral Commission undertook in its review of MMP in 2012. We reported to the New Zealand Parliament. We attached as an appendix to that report the 10 criteria that the Royal Commission used in judging different electoral systems, and I would commend it to the committee as it continues, notwithstanding the fact that this report was undertaken 30 years ago. It remains a very relevant and very helpful piece of work, and the report in general would reward your consideration. So in answer to your question, why did it take 18 months? It's a very comprehensive, very thorough piece of work which included considerable public consultation and included also visits to international jurisdictions.
But you achieve a lot with that. 18 months, very busy, but very effective. What I've been surprised is that it took almost 15 years to call the shot to the people before any decision. Why so long?
Well, from 1985 to 1993, the two major parties that were then in Parliament did not support first past the post. They supported first past the post, and as I said in my introductory comments, there was considerable public and political debate between the Royal Commission reporting in 1986 and the decision in 1991 to introduce legislation to provide for a referendum in 1992, which initiated the process that saw the adoption of MMP in 1993, following a binding referendum, and the first MMP election in 1996. One other thing I would say, sir, is that having made the decision to move to MMP in 1993, it was a very busy 3 years preparing for the first MMP election in 1996. A lot of work had to be done.
Okay, just before going to the 3 full years for preparation, let's get back to the 2 referenda. Not referendums. In French, we say referendum, even if we are talking about 2 referendum. But I learned that in English, it's like in Latin, it's a referenda. It reminds me when I was in 1976 in the high school. I have some Latin in the lessons. So you had 2 referenda. Why 2?
The first referendum was to provide New Zealanders with the opportunity to indicate whether they wanted change, and if they did want change, which alternative system they would prefer.
So I recognize again that you take your time because it's a very interesting and very important issue in democracy. Then you took 3 full years
We're
before.
almost done, Mr. Deltel.
Okay, so we'll get back in the 5
Yeah,
minutes.
sure, thanks.
Thank you.
Mr.
Thank you so
Aldag.
much, sir.